we love to watch. Oh, there it is. TNC. They do pick up the gyrocopter. I mean, what are you going to do? You have an IO, you take the gyro, makes enough sense. I still think, I mean, we both agree, this hero just feels so lackluster every time we see it. On paper, it dishes out so much damage. But when you watch him dishing out that damage, it doesn't feel that effective. Like, whoa, my dog's going ballistic. But what was it the other day? There was OG was playing a gyrocopter. Samel literally had to get 3 divine rapiers for the hero to be effective. I mean, come on now. I think this hero isn't strong enough to be viable. But I guess with the IO, it may be pretty good. Maybe.
It has a lot more leeway with the IO. Like, you can get a lot more done. You have a lot more allowances to really start the pressure. But Adroit, you've given them the Magnus. They have the Troll. That was going to come out every single time. I believe that's either... I think that's actually the Boomy hero. So you're going to have Boomy on the Magnus, just supporting his Troll, getting the RPs off. It should be a Bok Batrider once more. So you've got these playmaking heroes set up for Adroit. You've got the sustain from the Chen. You've got the laning presence from the Chen, from the Batrider. And TNC, they have a gyrocopter, which has the IO. Yeah, great. You have great sustain, at least in that sense. You can kind of hold up lane out. You don't really have a great combination with the Grimstroke. Again, we were kind of stretching it with the Centaur, but there's no one here that really will benefit from the Soulbind. That's a bit of an issue, because the control you get is nice, but the best cases with Grimstroke have been, in my viewing, it's been with a Doom or a Lina. Just getting double Doom or instantly bursting 2 heroes down. You're not getting that with this lineup from TNC. They still have room for something bursty at the end. It is looking, but if you need to buy space for their gyrocopter, and Adroit, we saw it last game, they do not give space away.
I guess I could somewhat defend the gyro. Like, if I had to, I guess there were a lot of gold changes on the map, right? A lot of gold has been removed from the Dota 2 economy. Up against the Chen, who does provide you a lot more gold, assuming you can take down the creeps. I suppose in a team fight, if the gyro can get a flat cannon off, essentially taking down those Chen creeps will give you, 200-300 gold. So it is... You do have that. I don't know. I'm not even going to bother trying to defend the gyro. It's just... forget about it. Forget it. TNC, we'll see how they finish this draft off. They do ban out the Void Spirit as their final ban, and I have to agree with that. If there's one hero that can really jump in on an IO and just destroy the hero, it is probably the Void Spirit. Adroit will get rid of the Queen of Pain, and they take the Storm, which is another hero that can do the exact same thing.
Exactly. Like, they've still got a great way of jumping in there, of bursting down that IO straight up. You don't have the control here from TNC. Like, right? You don't have any way of keeping the Storm in place. You could throw the Soulbind, hope the Storm's latching onto someone else. I guess that's it. But nothing instantaneous there to keep that Storm Spirit down. So you can expect it to really just have a free time. Mac is just going to be able to zip around wherever he wanted to. I believe the Ember Spirit would have been a bit of a stronger combination. You do have the Magnus around for the free empower, right? You're going to get so much value from your Sleight of Fist, but Storm Spirit's equally as good and much more slippery to deal with. So I like that pick coming out here from Adroit. TNC has to bring out something here in their last pick to really carry them through in that early game. They need to shut down this aggression that Droid is looking to pump out. I think Alina would be a really good fit here. If they do want to run the core Alina down mid, can build off of Grimstroke. It's great right click if you want to melt the tower down. Not the fastest, but can be decent if you want to go that route. They go with a Fist Void.
Okay. Is that a mid Void? No, it is going to be the mid gyro. Okay, that makes more sense. I guess the gyrocopter up against Storm isn't too bad of a matchup for the gyrocopter. Assuming, of course, you can break the distance on the Storm, John. Before that level 6 mark, obviously, Rocket Barrage is very, very nice. And now you have some very nice team fighting catch for Mac on that Storm Spirit. You were correct, by the way, in saying it is going to be a position for Magnus. It is Boomy on top of that.
Yeah.
Overall,
that's his hero.
We are in game 2. We talked about it in the first game, but there's going to be no tiebreakers after these group stage games, but rather it is very important for your seeding that you do win every game you can get, and for TNC and Adroit, whoever wins this series is essentially going to avoid having to play Fnatic in the first round of the winner bracket playoffs. So I'm going to ask you, who's got the better draft?
On paper, I should be favoring TNC slightly more because we've seen Gabby's Void, right? TNC plays around that Chronosphere perfectly every single time. I just have a feeling that the aggression from Adroit might be a bit too much. If TNC can always force out the Chrono and always find those kills, they have great synergy with a Gyrocopter in that case. He stands outside, he deals the damage as well. You don't have any way of counterplaying that as a droid. Like, there's just no counter. Chrono is one of those spells where you get caught, that's it. Unless you have, like, Avenge, you're probably going to lose the heroes inside, especially if that Chen's not in play. So TNT has a way of making that happen, but that'll take level 6 in your Void that has a timer that you're always going to have to play around. Adroit, sure, they have a bit of timer with the Magnus RP. That's really not the major factor. It's going to take a while for Boomy to find a farm for the Blink anyway. He's not going to get the biggest farm prioritization, even though they will give him a little bit more than you'd expect. It's just a farming capability you can get with having that Empower around and the impact Bach can have. Like, all these heroes just have so much great presence.
I apologize. We do have to move into the game now. Enough of this this draft screen. Of course, we do have to bring up some betting odds. See how game 2's looking between these two. And I imagine Adroit are probably looking like the favorites now, going into the secondary matchup. But we will see what Lupet believes is the correct play. And TNC is still the favorites. Is that out of date? I'm gonna check. I'm gonna refresh it just in case. I mean, they could be. Don't get me wrong. Like the draft, like you said, on paper would arguably be better.
Batrider ng Batrider, puta.
Do you want to explain what that means, John? I don't speak the language.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll up a bit. Nan trash talk pa si Bok, yabang. So Armel's accusing Bok of being a bit braggy, and Boomy's like, Mel, sapakin mo yung carry mo. Mel, slap your carry. And Bok's like, it's like, oh no, mayabang. Like talking too much. Trash talk rubbish. It's like keeps talking trash. They're just having a bit of. And March interjects Bitoy. He's learning. He's learning, guys. Unfortunately. Oh god.
Thank you
for
for that
translation.
translation.
The friendly internet cafe culture does.
Thank you for that, John. Because we do have a bit of a scuttle. Boomy going to be able to steal a bounty rune. And, well, is that 4 bounty runes? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Adroit takes 4 bounty runes off the side of TNC. And that is not the greatest start for TNC, but that's certainly going to help the cause of Adroit.
Definitely will. Like, that's just going to give them a lot of an easier time down mid, especially. I do believe that Armel can kind of bully out the Storm here. He does have pretty good level 1 spells. He has good damage. But with that extra gold, it should take too long for our Storm to get some additional loot in.
I have to keep a very close eye on Armel this game. See how well he can perform up against Mac in this Storm Spirit. It's, again, it should be a Gyrocopter favored lane up until Mac gets those higher levels up. He should be just perfectly fine, but who knows? Like Mac, he's already feeling confident enough to just dive that tier 1 a little bit and trying to get some guys on. In fact, a very nice deny of that range creep. Does he find another? He does not. I guess it's another thing as well, Armel. He'll have to be very careful about where those rockets go when he commits rocket barrage, because he did just give a deny away to Mac on a range creep.
It's something you have to watch out for, but it'll be a fairly even lane until you hit level 3 both sides. That's when it starts to get exciting for either the Storm or Gyro. You can kind of dip away. I think the bot lane is where there is going to be a lot of action. So much aggression you can expect from the Batrider and the Chen. They have ways of really amping up the damage you can pump out, and there's only so many time walks Gabby can let off.
Of course, looking down to that bot lane, CML going to be there up against March, and you're going to have Gabby and Bok going at it on the Batrider and on the Void. And CML will find Gabby's courier on the way out to the Void, and that's not going to be good news for Gabby, as of course Bok is going to be providing a lot of harassment, especially with that sticky napalm. Well, at least Gabby does have the wand up, so we'll be able to at least get something back out of it.
Definitely. It shouldn't be as hard of a time for Gabby. Like, you're not seeing Bok really commit just yet. That is because Gabby's holding on to the Time Walk, and CML hasn't been focusing on trying to force Gabby to defend that. Not going to have a window just yet in the bot lane to find any sort of commitment.
Oh, KP. Falling low to Natsumi, but he'll be alright, he'll survive. Only problem is KP really doesn't have any regen. I think he does have something coming out on the courier. He does use the stick charges, but no, still no regen. He'll get brown boots. Tims will come back in and take care of the regen for him.
That's one of the nice things of having that IO in the lane. Of course, you don't really need too much regen. The IO just be able to teeter you up, and you can get to a reasonable amount. Now, while all that's what's happening, Boomy was trying to get his own farm by pulling the wave. He's been stacking for himself as well. If this move isn't punished by TNC, Boomy's going to hit a pretty good timing on his own farm.
Boomy really not allowing them to try and contest those jungle creeps. Being very frustrating up at this top lane on that support Magnus. We'll rotate mid now, and Armel got to run the other way as Boomy does have the level 1 skewer. Armel, he's turning around.
Oh.
Skewer back into the tier 1 tower. There's going to be no follow-up. It was a bit of a bait play, but Armel does not continue moving forward with the Ink Swell, and Boomy will deny them the illusion rune by taking it himself.
Yeah, a lot of commitment from TNC to keep Armel alive. They do understand a prioritization of this jar. He needs that early farm. He needs that early levels. One movement like that from Adroit and suddenly have two supports leaving their side lanes. That could cause issues. That does free it up for Adroit, and we have seen them do this before. The moment you give them leeway in these side lanes, they can find a lot more to play with.
Armel, he found the first blood. It looks like Mac was trying to go in for a kill attempt there, but ends up dying first, and Armel will happily just kill himself off and get a reset on the gyrocopter, but that is going to be a very, very important kill for that gyro. Definitely gives him a bit of a lead after that laning phase.
A bit of an even exchange for both sides. Not going to be too upset. Going to be a bit better for Armel, as he does find that kill while he's alive. Does soak a little bit more EXP, but Mac does get some additional creeps uncontested.
Whilst looking back down to the bot lane, Gabby, he's been farming okay on the Void, but Bok has been a little bit frustrating on this bat ride. There's really not much you can do if you're Gabby, and you talked about this before where there's only so many times he can time walk the damage off that Bok is dishing out. Time dilation does help him quite a bit, however, and Gabby just be forced to back off again. Has to play this very safe. You've got to admit, when you look at Natsumi's farm, Natsumi's just really getting so much further ahead. Currently about 18 last hits ahead of the Void.
It's a good time for the troll. That's all happening while Boomy is playing the jungle. So he's playing this super greedy Magnus support that just isn't being hunted down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under
TNC gonna try and force in that mid tower very, very early. This is one of the things you can try and do up against the Chen draft, right? Where you try and get that map control before they start trying to go for it. Because once they try, you can't really stop it though. Bot lane, Gabby almost falls very low on that Batrider. What I was trying to say, John, is if you can force down these important towers early on, if you are on TNC, it almost denies Adroit that option to try and do it themselves. In fact, Mac zips in, homing missile, going to be dodged, but the tier 1 does still go down. And Mac essentially finds himself without a lane.
You know, TNC has really played much more aggressive down mid. They're playing around Armel much better. This is sacrificing their side lanes, and you actually look at the net worth difference. Adroit, even though it's a 1-to-1 in terms of kills, Adroit is 3k ahead in net worth. They've found a lot more farm on the map, a lot more efficiently, because they're giving space to these greedier supports. Find that jungle farm. So Boomy is going to be set to have a decent time to his blink. You have Bok with having basically a free time down bot, although
And they do commit cooldown. They'll commit Chrono for this Batrider kill, and Bok barely goes down. He didn't have any stick charges to commit. That was a lot committed for that first Batrider kill, but I suppose if you have the Chrono, if you have the cooldown, just commit it. Just get a kill out of it.
yeah, that's definitely how TNC has to play this. They've got to play it really aggressive. You need to shut down that troll. You can't give space to Adroit to try to hit their timings. You have to start shutting down this map. There's way too much jungle farm being taken by Adroit right now. This is how they're going to recover. Mac needs a lot of this to get started. You do have a lot more leeway for Natsumi as he hasn't been contested at the top. Although they found Armel.
They do. Still, he does have the IO, but now the lasso back. Tims has no choice but to follow Armel and try to keep him alive, and it will be enough. Armel actually still falling. Still getting burnt down by the flame break, I believe it was, of Bok, but it does not end up being enough. A very, very close call, however.
It's a lot of committal from TNC to keep Armel alive. Basically, never seeing Armel without his two supports. Like, he's always going to have Tims around, and even March kind of has to stay in that general area where the Gyrocopter is. So, once more, you're keeping your Gyrocopter safe. It's coming at the cost of giving farm to everyone else on Adroit's side. Yeah, you've managed to find Bok a couple of times. He's still going to get that pretty decent timing on the Boots of Travels and the Blink. And once that's up, of course, he's just going to be a menace around him.
See March trying to be very disruptive on that Grimstroke. Trying to really take some farm away from Natsumi, who is just farming up stacks. March will try to take an outpost for himself prior to that 10-minute mark. He will, but should be taken back in time. I say that, but TNC look to try and set up a team fight up at that top lane now, as they are going to try and force in that tier 1 tower. Boomy's the only one there, just freely farming up on the Magnus, but KP going to commit the Stampede. And that'll be the level 4 Magnus going down, and that should allow TNC to pick up this tier 1 tower.
You're going to find really easy objective so far. Adroit is not going to be fighting this one. They're the ones taking the back seat this time around. They're the ones playing a bit more passive. It's up to TNC to really maximize this spike, this advantage they do have. They're going to have Chrono up on Gabby in about 10 seconds. You would want to see another Chrono flying out, try to find a couple of easy kills, and go for more objectives. Perhaps that tier 1 down bot. That's going to be a very easy target to take, or maybe start pressuring a tier 2.
You still kind of question what's happening with Natsumi, though. Like, he's 4.9k, Max right behind him on the Storm. Speaking of Mac, John, he's 1.3k ahead of the Gyrocopter, and now there's going to be a bit of a team fight up top, or rather, Adroit are just going to try and defend this as KP gets a very nice hook stomp onto Bok. RP is available on Boomy. They've got to be careful about that, but he does commit the skewer. And Adroit just aren't ready to team fight yet. But back to my point, in terms of cores, Adroit is really finding so much more farm.
They definitely are. They're 5k ahead over TNC despite being so far behind. Although the Chrono onto Mac, that should be a good kill.
If it is a kill, Mac will just zip away. Yeah, he's gone. Just TPs.
Man.
What are you going to do about it?
They had the relocate on Armel. They did land inside a Chrono, so they couldn't really preemptively cast a homing missile. Try to keep him in place. And that just cost them. That would have been a nice kill. We talked about the timing of the Chrono. At the very least, Gabby's trying. Doesn't pay off, and that's more time for Adroit to farm up. 5k lead, mentioned earlier. They're still getting really good farm distribution here. Boomy is just about 500, 700 gold away from that lane.
Oh, mid top lane. RP does come out from Boomy. They found Tims and Armel. A sitting duck without his IO. And that's kind of what you're worried about. Like, the Gyrocopter just does nothing once the IO is dead. Tims is kind of just playing a hero that can't do anything on his own. He's very reliant on being with that Gyrocopter. Well, with all this farm going Adroit's way and with no signs of slowing down, TNC, you kind of wonder, what do you do? Like, is Gabby really going to find enough farm to keep up?
He's gonna need a lot, and they really need to play around at Chrono. This is a really strange situation. Normally when you're 2 towers behind, you have a bit of a net worth lead. Because TNC have neglected to farm so much that it's costing them. They will find Bok.
Yeah, Bok. Nice kill. So they do get the Bat Rider.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It kind of feels like a distraction here from Bok, though, doesn't it? Like, you've kept this Bat Rider down, fair enough, and it's going to take him another while to get that blink up. But now you look at Boomy. He has a blink up.
That's it. That's what Adroit's waiting for. They've got ways to set their plays up. They've got ways to take these team fights. We already saw the effect of his RP without it. Like, sure, he just catches heroes. That's enough. That's all you need to catch the IO Gyrocopter. That's always going to be enough to turn these fights.
Top lane, Bok. Keeping an eye out on Tims and Armel. He does have the lasso and would love to just drag Tims away. Tims. Flame Break does connect as he tries to tether. Bok will not chase any further. And looks like TNC have now grouped up as 3 and started smoking. You do have the Chrono that just came off cooldown for Gabby and he wants to commit it immediately. However, it is going to be into another 4 or 5 man smoke here from Adroit. And are they going for a Roshan play or are they going for a gank? Well, they'll spot out Gabby on the Void. They must know Chrono's available, but they'd love to just go for this team fight anyway. In fact, Gabby may commit Chrono, and he does. It's on the Storm, but now the drag back onto KP Mac. He survives through the Chrono, and now the RP Boomy. He found 3 of them, and they're all going to fall apart as Armel. He'll try to run away. Tims will buy it back immediately. The fight continues as March in the back gets taken out. They do at least find the Troll Warlord, however. Battle Trance was popped too early on, and now they relocate Tims. They're going to try and find something more out of this. But Mac, he's TP'd out CML. Can you get a TP cancellation? No bashes coming out. Oh boy. They found a Troll Warlord, but you committed buybacks for that.
Dire's bottom tower.
That is, I don't know if I'd call that well worth it.
No, definitely not. Not with the amount of buybacks here. Adroit can be extremely happy with how that fight went. The Chronosphere is just not enough. Kill off Mac with the form he has, and with the damage on Gabby. They had Armel around towards the end. Not quite. They need the Gyrocopter around to get that damage off onto Mac. Otherwise, that Chrono committal is not going to be enough, and they don't have any other way of keeping control on Mac. Chronosphere gone, he's going to zip around just fine. This is going to be a constant issue for TNC. With that Chrono expended, this is an opening for Adroit. They don't have RP, but they can force out some ganks and find some pickoffs for Witch.
Dire are scanning.
Well, they're going to get back up to that top lane, TNC. They continue to try applying pressure. Boomy, he's going to find March on the Grimstroke. Inksword going to be there with the silence. He can't skewer away, but Mac is there to help if necessary. In fact, the whole team's there. Boomy has already died. Mac trying to find a trade onto March. They can't get it fast enough, and that'll be enough. They run away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
TNC, I doubt they chase any further. And they do back off.
A lot of caution from TNC while this Chrono is down. I do respect that they still are trying to play aggressive when they can. That was a really far movement from Boomy. I think he was trying to get the skewer off, trying to wait out, kill off that silence out, but quite enough there for him to do it out by himself. Gets punished for it, and that is a clean pick off for TNC. But this is the moment where they're kind of playing cautious. Gabby is forward, could be targeted here. He does have, well, now he doesn't. It's gonna have to be cautious as Adroit.
Yeah, relocate is coming in. Bok will just wait. Gabby, Chrono in a second. He will have it up very soon with the lasso. A second before he had it. And now the stuns come in. CML will take him out on Tims. Oh, the timing from Adroit. Just perfect. And now poor KP gets slowed up, gets vortexed up. He has to commit the stampede, but Boomy says no. You're going nowhere. Sit down, young man.
Oh man, Adroit just all over the map, always finding these big kills. You just can't afford to leave Gabby, even for a moment, in the enemy jungle, when Adroit is just basically that. Sure, they had the outpost, no one was TPing in, no one's going in to help anyway. They lose a tier 1 for their troubles as well, and Adroit is still holding on to that solid 8k lead. There's nothing fluctuating here, it's constantly Bloodstone coming out for Mac that's going to allow him to just zip around wherever he wants, less of concern regen, working towards the Ag straight up with the RP, having that Vortex AoE follow. Just so much control that could come out here from Adroit. It is a bit scary. They've got to, TNC has got to find a way to kill off Mac.
They haven't yet. You've got Gabby with the Diffusal Blade, and I guess, you know, if he can drain the mana of Mac in a Chrono, even if he doesn't kill him, it may just be enough. Mac has not been very concerned about that yet, that's for sure. And he's just getting bigger and bigger, especially with that Bloodstone. He just has so much sustain. Natsumi, what's he got coming on the way? He's got a Yashra up. Mid lane, Mac gets jumped on. Silence is there. Gabby has Chrono. He may have to commit and does. But look how healthy this Storm is, John. He won't die. Soulbind comes up, but they heal him up, and now Boomy jumps in. No RP available, and they actually do find Mac. They found Boomy as well. Now they need to go for more. It's not enough. More kills necessary. The Flame Break Bok, that was not the one you were looking for. Maybe it was. The lasso. Gabby goes down. They have chased too far. KP will also lose his life. And maybe 2 kills was enough. Maybe they should have just ran away. Is March. He knows. He tries, but he is dead.
Oh, just not even trades here. TNC, they do at least find the kill on Mac, but they lose out on Gabby anyway. That's a huge blow for TNC. This is going to allow Adroit to just straight up go to the Roche. They know the Chrono's down. They've got a troll with a Morbid Mask, straightforward Roche.
Yeah, he attacks quite fast. I guess they just give the... You'd assume they give the Aegis to Mac, surely. Like, no, Natsumi will take it. Okay. It's fair enough. I think it's still much more value on the Storm, though.
On paper, it does give Natsumi technically 3 lives to play with, so he has a lot more leeway to just stand and fight.
I mean, he does have more net worth as well, so I guess it makes enough sense if you're looking for the efficiency play. However, Armel does go for a Heaven's Halberd build. Fair enough. You've got this Armel, but...
Yeah, like, you need to stop Natsumi from getting that damage out. That's going to give you a very good way to negate his battle entirely.
Well, they're going to need that soon, as Adroit is pushing into that tier 2 mid tower. No Chrono available on Gabby for another 40 seconds. Armel does disarm. Box looking for a lasso. Skewer back. Who have they found? It's KP. Call down will be committed, and Adroit will just simply walk out of the big circle. Do you reset? Do you keep going? Natsumi says let's keep going, and Mac goes for the Vortex. Back onto KP. They want that Centaur Gold, and now a Soulbind to be expended. And so they've forced out 2 ultimates for the really nothing. Like, TNC don't get anything out of them at all. But Adroit, they don't feel confident. They do want to back off, and I suppose that's fair enough. Like, right now, there's just no rush for them.
There were opportunities there. Boomy hasn't expended the RP, although the Chronosphere is back up from Gabby. That could be why the hesitation was there. They are keeping track of that ult usage quite well from Adroit and TNC. Like, they've been playing around the time of that Chrono well from Gabby, but Adroit seems to be ready. Every single time they just kind of toss Mac in front. They know Mac is always going to be the biggest target. He's in front. They did manage to clean him up last time around, but that wasn't in the duration of Chrono. That was because they got the Soulbind off, so Adroit are still happy to extend that Chrono without any kills happening during Chrono. I think that's always going to be the trade Adroit is looking for.
Well, bot lane. Adroit will take the tier 2 tower. TNC, they're trying to set up for the top tier 2, but they are going to have to come back and defend this. There's a tier 3 about to be taken down by Adroit if they're not too careful. Every ultimate on the map is available apart from the Soulbind. That'll be 10 seconds away on the Grimstroke anyway. Adroit, they do not choose to pursue. They'd rather back off. With the 13k net worth lead, you certainly don't want to give TNC away back into the game by losing a huge team fight. So you can understand why Adroit is being rather cautious about this. Natsumi gonna bait Armel forward. Boomy looking to find a skewer for himself. They'd love to find Gabby first because he does have Chrono available. Skewer back from Boomy. He doesn't want to risk getting caught in the Chrono. KP now. Gonna be fine as well. Well, they jumped on Mac. He actually finds the Void. Way out of position. Gabby.
Just trying to farm in that downtime. Punished hard for it. They still have the RP on Boomy, mind you. So they've got a lot of tools here to force a fight out.
No buyback on the Void.
Radiant's middle tower is under
This is the chance. Definitely they're going to find a tier 2 tower. Like, there's no doubt about that. But the question is, do they try and force a tier 3? I think you do. I think you try to force a buyback and you'll find that there isn't one. In fact, Bok, he's moved forward to Mac. He found KP. The Stampede was committed, but it's too late. And now the RP comes in. Boomy found two of them and blows them up. And it looks worse and worse for TNC as time goes on. As now Adroit should be able to clean up that first lane of racks. There is some legitimate concern about Gabby and the Chrono. And in fact, with that Heaven's Halberd being popped, Natsumi, do you want to back? Well, he still has an Aegis. He knows it's going to expire soon anyway. So he may as well risk his life. And Armel going to start to really try and pressure him back. The Aegis should go. In fact, Natsumi's just telling him, take it. Just take it. The disrespect from Natsumi as he runs away. And TNC, I guess they still have Chrono, but this is still a dangerous team fight to take. Looks like Adroit will back off anyway.
They're going to be very happy with that. They managed to use the Aegis right before expiry. They take the melee racks, take the first tower, tier 3 tower of the game as well. So Adroit's just pretty much set. 8 to 14, 18k net worth lead, 24.5 minutes. I mean, that's not something you see too often. When the enemy team's running the Gyrocopter IO, they're supposed to be the ones farming up. They're the ones who are supposed to be bigger, at the very least, on the Gyrocopter. Maybe a bit more even net worth, but the Gyrocopter should definitely way more farm. Even Gabby is taking the backseat farm. His Faceless Void only has a Diffusal and an Alacrity. Nothing else.
Armel will have the Aghanim Scepter up soon on the Gyrocopter, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Just TNC, they're just so behind, and the map's getting smaller and smaller for them. They go up as 4 to the top lane. Well, Bok, he does pop his head out, so they could try to go for this, but it almost looks like it's a bait from Bok anyway, and they won't bother wasting their time, as Adroit has started to force in the bot tier 3 as well.
They've got the RP up and running again, although Boomy is TPing out. They just want items up. They've got the Shadow Blade up and running on their mag, so a lot more options for the engagement. You do finally see Armel's Aghanim Scepter up, so his damage output is going to be a bit better. He's got a lot more stats to play with. I don't think that's going to be enough. You have to consider the Ags on Mac. Added control Adroit has to play with. The RP being up. They do have the Chronosphere. Gabby needs to land it on a big target. Like, go for Mac again, burst him down in the Chrono, and then try to clean up. Don't overextend. Like, if you can find that kill and you're not in a good spot, take it. Take it and back off, because Adroit will fight back, even if they're behind.
Oh, Lasso, who will be caught there? It is going to be the Grimstroke, and March could not survive. That's your Grimstroke gone with no buyback. Mac now going straight after Tim's on the IO. He gets the Vortex off onto 2, and now the RP comes out again. They're melting. They're just gone. Armel will also die. No buyback available on the Gyro. Tim's brought back, but who has he got to tether to? That's it. GG's called. They've had enough.
Adroit taking it 2-0 up against TNC. really clean game number 2. They got the Boombags Magnus. It wasn't fanned out. There's a reason why in every match of Adroit that we watch, that's a first phase ban. It slid through in game 2. TNC could not deal with it. TNC could not deal with the playstyle Adroit was bringing out. Lots of great farm distribution from them. They got the farm on all their cores and Boomy somehow without really sacrificing anyone. So props to Adroit for a fairly clean game. And fortunately for TNC, they do take a loss.
I gotta say, John, I just can't agree with giving Tims these kind of heroes. I really can't. Like the IO on Tims, like who was starting the fights in that game? Really? Like, did you? What do you say?
Gabby. It had to be that Faceless Void.
It had to be Gabby or
enough.
KP, but Gabby or KP couldn't get the farm up.
No.
For something like a blink, and Stampede was always being used to back off, and it was always Gabby, like you said. Like it had to be the chrono first. It's usually in every other game you see an Earthshaker from Tims or something like that, you see him throwing a Fisher out to really set it up. And I think that's, maybe where TNC's gone wrong in this series. Like it's just, you've got to give Tims some really, I don't know what you call it, just a more influential hero. Because he really is
playmaker.
a playmaker hero. Like he is the playmaker of the team.
Yeah.
Regardless, John,
I was surprised. I was surprised though. Like they didn't pick the Snapfire. Like they had the Faceless Void. They could have went Snap instead. Very solid combination. And we know Tims plays a really good Snap. We've seen that.
Okay.
Just odd drafting.
Well, with that, John, that is the first series of the night gone, which will mean, I believe, and I'm just double checking the standings right now, but that should put Team Adroit up into the second place of the group stages, and they should just sit there now. So that will mean that TNC will be forced to fight Fnatic in the first winners bracket playoff round. Adroit will more than likely have to go up against Reality Rift, which, considering Fnatic is currently sitting at 7-0, you definitely say that is the easier matchup for your first round if you are Adroit. Apart from that, though, John, we do have a second series tonight, and this one interests me quite a lot. GeekFam versus Boom ID. Both of them currently sitting at 5th and 6th, respectively. Again, these games really do matter in terms of just securing your spot in the playoffs. In fact, Boom may actually have a chance to make it to 4th place and still get to the winner bracket if they can 2-0 GeekFam.
Yeah, like there would be some analysis on the games previously played, but if the stats look good, if they secure this win, there is a chance they can take Reality Rift's spot. Reality Rift will have to.
Right. So a lot of pressure here on Boom to try and get a 2-0 clean sweep if they can. Even with the 2-1, they'll still have a decent chance, but you definitely want to have that very effective 2-0. Nevertheless, it is MLP johnxfire. We'll be back very, very soon with our second series of the night. Won't be too long.